Hello everyone. Once again I welcome you to my video lecture series on advanced calculus and numerical methods 18 Mat 1. In today's session, that is lecture 5 on module 1 vector calculus, I am going to take Stokes and Gauss divergence theorem. Before taking up the Stokes theorem and Gauss divergence theorem, let me once again brief surface integral and volume integral. Suppose a vector field f is applied over a surface S. We first find the unit outward normal vector to the surface S. Then the normal surface integral of f over the surface S is given by surface integral of f dot ds or surface integral of f dot n ds, where this n is a unit outward normal vector at P to S. So that means if I need surface integral of f over this surface S, so let me first obtain the unit outward normal vector to the surface. So how I can get the unit outward normal vector to the surface is, all of you know that if the equation of the surface is given, then the gradient of that surface is nothing but vector normal to the surface. So the unit vector normal is nothing but the gradient of that surface divided by magnitude of gradient of surface. Suppose the equation of the surface is known as f of x comma y comma z, then the unit vector normal to the surface is del f by magnitude of del f. If suppose your surface is on xy plane, then unit outward normal, how we can get unit vector normal to the surface is nothing but it is along the direction of z axis. So the unit vector normal to this surface xy plane is nothing but k. Correct? So I can immediately get unit outward normal vector to xy plane, that is nothing but k. Similarly, if it is on xz plane, the surface is on xz plane, then it is nothing but j. So along in the direction of y. So unit outward normal vector to the surface on xz plane or parallel to xz plane. So that is always nothing but unit vector normal is nothing but j. Similarly on zy plane, so that is I. So most of the time, so you may have come across a problem where the surface is on xy plane or it is parallel to xy plane. Then the n unit outward normal vector to that surface is obviously k. Or else if you have any other surface, say, then we have to find the gradient of that surface, then unit outward normal vector to the surface is nothing but the gradient of that surface, say del f by magnitude of del f. Now once I get that dot product of vector field f and unit outward normal vector f dot n, then that we have to integrate over ds over the surface S, means it is nothing but you can take the projection on xy plane. So then it is a double integral over that region bounded by the projection. So what we have here taken, so then we have to identify the limits corresponding to x and y. So it is simply or merely a double integral there onwards. Similarly, if I want to find a volume integral, the definition is here: if f, the given vector field f1i plus f2j plus f3k, and the dv, that is dx dy dz, then the volume integral of f over e is nothing but we can write the volume integral f is in terms of it is nothing but triple integral of f1 dx dy dz I plus triple integral of f2 dx dy dz j plus triple integral of f3 dx dy dz k. So that means if f is a continuously differentiable vector point function and the volume integral of f over the region E we can obtain by using a triple integral concept. So component wise we have to take the triple integral, so that gives the volume integral of f. In my last video session I have taken Green's theorem in the plane. Now all of you know that Green's theorem relates the line integral of f, a vector point function f, along a closed curve C in terms of double integral over the plane region bounded by C, correct? So that means if at all I want to find the line integral of f along C, so that means f dot dr, since f is applied in the plane, so I can say it is f1 dx plus f2 dy. We might have been taken it as mdx plus ndy, which I can write as a double integral over the region R, where we have to integrate dou n by dou x, identify m and n. So if it is in the form m dx plus n dy or f1 dx plus f2 dy, the components are here f1, f2 or m and n. So differentiate m partially with respect to y, n partially with respect to x. So take the factor dou n by dou x. The factor is here, we have to take dou n by dou x minus dou m by dou y. So this we have to integrate over the region R. So that means according to the Green's theorem in the plane, so the statement says if suppose the line integral of f along the curve C I want to get, it can be taken as a double integral over a plane region R bounded by C. So we have to integrate dou n by dou x minus dou m by dou y. Now the next what we have here is a surface integral. The surface integral converts the line integral along the closed curve C into a surface integral of curl f. So that means that if S be an open surface bounded by a closed curve C and vector f f1i plus f2j plus f3k be any continuously differentiable vector point function, then the line integral of f along this closed curve C can be taken as surface integral of curl f. So we have to find, instead of finding the line integral, we can either take it as a surface integral of curl f dot n, where n is a unit outward normal vector to the surface S at the given point, or by Stokes theorem we can take a surface integral of curl f as line integral of f along simple closed curve C. So that means, so what exactly the Stokes theorem says, if suppose we need a surface integral of curl f, a vector point function is applied over the surface which is bounded by a closed curve C, then the surface integral of curl f along the normal to the surface S taken over the surface S bounded by a closed curve C is equal to the line integral of that vector point function along the closed curve C. So both way we can convert. So the line integral can be converted as surface integral of curl f, or surface integral of curl f can be taken as line integral of f. So that means if suppose I have how to find the surface integral of curl f along the given surface S, which I can take it as a line integral along C, line integral along C, correct? The next one is Gauss divergence theorem. As you know, the Stokes theorem converts line integral of f along closed curve C into a surface integral of curl f over S. Now the Gauss divergence theorem converts surface integral of vector f itself, the surface integral of f over S, into a volume integral of f div f, volume integral of divergence f. So converting surface integral of f to volume integral of divergence f is nothing but Gauss divergence theorem. Suppose if f is continuously differentiable vector point function in the region E bounded by the closed surface S, then the surface integral of f over S is equal to volume integral of divergence of f. So just remember Stokes theorem, the line integral of vector point function f along closed curve C is the surface integral of curl f, and Gauss divergence theorem, that is surface integral of vector point function f over S, is nothing but the volume integral of divergence of f. So while applying Stokes theorem, we need to get curl of a vector point function first, and here while applying Gauss divergence theorem, we have to first evaluate or first compute the divergence of the vector point function, then we have to proceed further. So that means, okay, obviously where n is a unit outward normal at any point of S, as all of you are aware now. Suppose if you have a closed surface S, now if I want to find the surface integral of f along or over the surface S, then obviously we have to find the resultant surface integral, means we have to find the surface integral over each faces. So for this solid we have a 6 faces. So parallelepiped we have a 6 faces. The surface integral of f over each face we have to find. So by getting the unit outward normal to each surfaces, So instead of that, the resultant says, the Gauss divergence theorem says, the surface integral of f can be taken immediately just by taking the volume integral of divergence f. Just get the divergence of f, then you have to find the volume integral. The volume integral is nothing but it is just a triple integral over the given region. So we have to identify the limit corresponding to z, x and y. So thereby we can reduce our work. So that is the one of the use of Gauss divergence theorem. So I hope you understood this. What is the meaning or what exactly the Gauss divergence theorem do? The role of Gauss divergence theorem is nothing but the normal surface integral of a vector point function f over the boundary of a closed region is equal to the volume integral of divergence of f taken throughout the region. Now, for example, if suppose f represents, your vector point function f represents the velocity of a fluid particle, then the total outward flux of f across that closed surface S is nothing but surface integral of f. Already we have taken that the interpretation of surface integral. So if f represents the velocity of a fluid particle, then the total outward flux of f across closed surfaces is the surface integral of f over S. So that means if I want to find the flux of f across closed surface, I can even use there also Gauss divergence theorem. The surface integral I can convert into a volume integral of div f. Now we will take some problems on Stokes and Gauss divergence theorem. Problem number 1. Using Stokes theorem, evaluate line integral of f along the curve C where f is x square plus y square I minus 2xyj taken around the rectangle bounded by the lines x equal to plus or minus a, y equal to 0 and y equal to b. So by Stokes theorem, the line integral can be taken as surface integral of curl f over the surface f. So we have to first find the curl of the vector point function f, and the surface is nothing but it is a rectangle bounded by these lines. So it is on xy plane, the surface is here. So I have to first take the curl of f, that is del cross f. So the determinant del cross f is nothing but determinant ijk. The second row is the component of del, that is dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z, and the third row component of f x square plus y square minus 2xy and 0. The component of k is here 0. So I can write the determinant here. So that is I into dou by dou y of 0 minus dou by dou z of minus 2xy. Partially if you differentiate with respect to z, x and y constant, so it is 0. So the component of I is 0 minus j into dou by dou x of 0 minus dou by dou z of, partially we have to differentiate x square plus y square with respect to z. Once again it is a constant, so the component of j is also 0 plus k times dou by dou x of minus 2xy. So derivative of this with respect to x is minus 2y minus dou by dou y of x square plus y square, that is minus of 2y. So minus 2y curl f is now minus 4yk. Now n, unit outward normal to the surface. So unit outward normal to the surface is on xy plane, that's why it is k. The unit outward normal is towards z axis, so it is k. So dot product between curl f and n, curl f dot n is minus 4y. So by Stokes theorem, I can say the line integral of f along C, we know the statement of Stokes theorem. So that is surface integral of curl f dot n, which we have already taken. Curl f dot n is minus 4y. So we have to integrate that over the surfaces is nothing but now it is double integral. So we have to integrate minus 4y along over this region. So I can integrate with respect to x first, y next, or y first, x next. So I have taken with respect to y first, means when we integrate with respect to y, we treat x as constant. So I have taken along this vertical strip where x is constant. So limit for y varies from the lower portion is on the x-axis, that means y equal to 0 to upper portion is on the line y equal to b. And for x, the outer limit is we have to trace from this point to this, that is x equal to minus a to x equal to a, so that it covers the entire region. So I got the corresponding limit for x as minus a to a, and for y it is 0 to b. So integrate inner integral, that is integral of minus 4y with respect to y. So it is y square by 2, it gives minus 2y square. Apply the limit, upper limit minus lower limit, so minus 2b square. Then integrate with respect to x, so the integral of this is minus 2xb square, minus 2xb square, and upper limit minus lower limit, you have to apply the limit. So I have minus 2b square is anyhow constant, integral of 1 is x, apply the limit a minus of minus a, so that gives 2a into minus 2b square, so the answer is minus 4a b square. So by Stokes theorem, the line integral along C, line integral of f along C, we got it as minus 4a b square. If suppose you have not taken this help of Stokes theorem, the line integral of f you might have been taken along C, means there are now 4 partitions for a rectangle, 4 sides. So along C1, along C2, along C3 and along C4. Summing up all the result, that is the required line integral of f along C. Instead of doing that, we can take the help of Stokes theorem. One can easily get by converting into surface integral of curl f. Problem number 2. Using Stokes theorem, evaluate line integral of f along C, where f is 2x minus yi minus yz square j minus y square zk over the upper half surface of x square plus y square plus z square equal to 1 sphere bounded by its projection on the xy plane. Clearly, the projection of sphere x square plus y square plus z square equal to 1 on the xy plane is, that is z equal to 0. On xy plane z is 0. The equation reduces to x square plus y square equal to 1. A circle centered at origin with radius 1. So upper half surface, its projection on xy plane is a circle, x square plus y square equal to 1. So I can write that the projection of the upper half of the surface x square plus y square plus z square equal to 1 is the circle x square plus y square equal to 1. So that means we need to actually evaluate the line integral of f along C, means circumference, along the circumference of the circle. But by Stokes theorem, instead of this line integral, I can take surface integral of curl f. So I first take the curl of the given vector point function f. So that is del cross f equal to determinant of ijk, dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z, 2x minus y, the components here 2x minus y minus y z square minus y square z. So evaluate this. Determinant is here I into dou by dou y of, that is minus 2yz minus dou by dou z of minus 2yz, but minus of minus plus 2yz. The component is minus 2yz plus 2yz, that's why it is 0i, minus j into dou by dou x of, so partially differentiate this with respect to x means 0, minus dou by dou z of, again it is free from z, independent of z, so again it is a constant, so the component of j is also 0, plus k times dou by dou x of, it is constant, partially differentiate this with respect to x, so 0 minus dou by dou y of 2x minus y means minus 1, so minus of minus plus 1, so the component here is 1k, so you got curl f, that is del cross f as k. Now what about unit outward normal surface, unit outward normal vector to the surface? The surface here is the projection of the sphere on xy plane is nothing but circle, so on xy plane the unit outward normal is again n is equal to here also k. So the curl f dot n is nothing but k dot k, that is 1. Now thereby I can say by Stokes theorem, the line integral of f along C can be written as surface integral of curl f dot n, which is already taken here 1. So we have double integral of dx dy over the region A. So here A is nothing but a circle. So the projection of sphere here is nothing but circle. So that's why this is nothing but area of the circle C. So what is A? Is the projection of S in xy plane, means that is a circle centered at origin with radius 1 So all of you know that area of a circle centered at origin with the radius r is pi r square. Here radius is 1, so it is pi into 1 square, that is pi. So the answer is pi. Problem number 3. Using Stokes theorem, evaluate line integral of x plus y dx plus 2x minus z dy plus y plus z dz along C, and C is the boundary of the triangle with vertices 2, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0 and 0, 0, 6. That means it is a triangle which cuts x, y, z axis at 2, 3, 6. So along this, the boundary of this triangle, we have to evaluate the line integral of EF, where f is nothing but x plus yi plus 2x minus zj plus y plus zk. So by Stokes theorem, the line integral I can convert as a surface integral of curl f. So let me first take the curl of the vector point function f, where f is x plus yi plus 2x minus zj plus y plus zk. So curl f or del cross f is equal to determinant of ijk, dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z. Component of f here is x plus y, 2x minus z and y plus z. So determinant, evaluate that I into dou by dou y of y plus z, that is 1 minus dou by dou z of 2x minus z minus 1 minus of minus plus 1 plus 1 is 2, 2y minus j into dou by dou x of y plus z is 0 minus dou by dou z of x plus y is also 0. So it is 0j plus dou by dou x of 2x minus z, that is 2 minus dou by dou y of x plus y, that is 1 minus of 1 minus 1. So we have 2 minus 1, so it is 1k. So curl f is 2i plus 0j plus k. Now I want n, unit outward normal vector to this surface. So since it is a slant surface, so as all of you know, vector normal to the surface is nothing but gradient to the surface. So I want to find the gradient or del on this surface. So first let me have the equation of the surface, since as all of you know, the equation of the triangle with vertices 2, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0 and 0, 0, 6, which cuts x-axis at 2, y-axis at 3, z-axis at 6. The intercept form x by 2 plus y by 3 plus z by 6 equal to 1 is the equation of the triangle, or which we can simplify by taking the LCM 6. So we'll get 3x plus 2y plus z divided by 6 equal to 1, or I can say it is 3x plus 2y plus z equal to 6, or 3x plus 2y plus z minus 6 equal to 0. So this is the equation of the surface, so for which I have to find the normal to the surface, means gradient. So the normal vector is nothing but del of 3x plus 2y plus z minus 6, which is I dou f by dou x plus j dou f by dou y plus k dou f by dou z. I partially differentiate f with respect to x, that gives 3. So I have 3i plus component of j is dou f by dou y, that is 2 plus 2j plus component of k is partially differentiate this with respect to z, that is 1. So I got the gradient as 3i plus 2j plus k, but I want unit vector normal to the surface. So divide by the magnitude of this vector, so that gives n. So magnitude is now square root of 3 square plus 2 square plus 1, that is 9 plus 4 plus 1, 14. So 3i plus 2j plus k divided by root 14 is the unit outward normal vector to the surface. So now I get curl f dot n, which is nothing but dot product between these two vectors, that is 2i plus 0j plus k dot 1 by root 14 3i plus 2j plus k. 1 by root 14 is anyhow common, so you can just take the dot product between these two vectors, that is a dot b is a1 b1 plus a2 b2 plus a3 b3, that is sum of the product of components. 2 into 3 6 plus 0 into 2 0 plus 1 into 1 1, 6 plus 1 7 by root 14 is the answer. Now using this curl f dot n, I can go for surface integral of curl f by Stokes theorem. As you know, the line integral what we had here, x plus y dx plus 2x minus z dy plus y plus z dz, or we can say it is a line integral of f along C, can be written as surface integral of curl f dot n. curl f dot n we already got, it is 7 by root 14, which is a constant. You can take it out. We left out with only this, which is nothing but area of the surface. And what is that surface? Is clearly a triangle. So I have to find now 7 by root 14 times area of the triangle. The area of the triangle with the vertices given to you, that is, I can denote it as PQR. P is 200, Q 030 and R 006. Now how to find the area of the triangle whenever the vertices are given? It is just get the sides, that is PQ and PR, the vector PQ, vector PR. The area of the triangle is half times magnitude of the cross product between these two vectors. PQ, that is nothing but position vector Q minus position vector of P, OQ minus OP. So I can get 0 minus 2, that is minus 2i, 3 minus 0, that is 3j, plus 0 minus 0, 0k. So you got PQ is now minus 2i plus 3j plus 0k, and similarly PR, you can take it as minus 2i, 0 minus 2, 0 minus 0, 6 minus 0. The components are here minus 2i, 0j plus 6k. So now go for cross product between these two. PQ cross PR, determinant ijk, component minus 230, and the PR, the component of second vector, is minus 206. So I determinant for this is now I into 3 6 are 18 minus 0. So the component of I is 18 minus j into minus 2 into 6 minus 12 minus 0. So I have minus j into minus 12. So plus 12j plus k into 0 minus of minus 3 2s are 6. So it is 18i plus 12j plus 6k. Now the area of the triangle is half times magnitude of PQ cross PR. So I just find the magnitude of this cross product. So it is square root of 18 square plus 12 square plus 6 square. By using calci you can solve that. It is 6 root 14. Thereby the area of the triangle PQR is half times magnitude of the cross product between two sides, that is PQ and PR, which is nothing but half times 6 root 14 is 3 root 14. So substitute the thing here in 7 by root 14 times area of the triangle, which just now you got, it is 3 root 14. If I substitute, the answer will be 21. So by Stokes theorem, instead of finding the line integral along the curve C, along C means three sides you have to take, C1, C2, C3. Instead of that, we can stick on to finding curl F, and thereby the surface integral of curl F gives the answer as 21. Next problem, if vector f equal to 3yi minus xzj plus yz square k and s is the surface of the paraboloid 2z equal to x square plus y square bounded by z equal to 2, evaluate surface integral of curl f over s using Stokes theorem. So by applying Stokes theorem, if I want to find surface integral of curl f, that means we have to convert this as a line integral of vector f along C, where C is the boundary of the given surface S, and the S is here surface of the paraboloid 2z equal to x square plus y square bounded by z equal to 2. That means intersection of paraboloid and the plane, so which I can directly get if I substitute z equal to 2. The intersection is 4 equal to x square plus y square, or x square plus y square equal to 4. So now let me use Stokes theorem. By Stokes theorem, the surface integral of curl f over S can be taken as line integral of f along C. So what is f dot dr here? So that is 3y dx minus xz dy plus yz square dz. So I have to evaluate this along C, and the C is nothing but z equal to 2 and x square plus y square equal to 4. So as z equal to 2, that means dz is 0. So I can say this part vanishes since dz is 0, and substitute z equal to 2. So we will get the line integral is 3y dx minus 2x dy. So this we have to evaluate along C. The boundary is obviously a circle centered at origin with the radius 2. So which I can write by using parametric form of this. Put x equal to 2 cos t, y equal to 2 sin t, which represent the same circle centered at origin with radius 4. Thereby dx is minus 2 sin t dt, dy is 2 cos t dt. If I substitute this in terms of t, which now gives, substitute that, then you will get 3 into y into dx, that is 2 sin t into minus 2 sin t dt, that is minus 4 sin square t. Already we have 3, so minus 12 sin square t dt, minus 2x dy, x into dy, x is 2 cos t into dy is 2 cos t, 2 into 2 4 cos into cos, cos square t, 4 cos square t dt into minus 2, that is minus 8 cos square t. So I have taken minus sign outside, so we have the integral of 12 minus of 12 sin square t plus 8 cos square t dt. Along the circle, the limit for t now is nothing but 0 to 2 pi, full 360 degree. So it is, now the limit for t is 0 to 2 pi. So which we need to now integrate. So which I can do by using the even nature of the function. Since it is even, both the function sin square t and cos square t is even in the interval 0 to 2 pi. So as I can check, it is f of 2 pi minus x is f of x itself. So I can write, then it is 2 times 0 to pi 12 sin square t plus 8 cos square t. Again under the limit 0 to pi, the function is even because it is of even powers. Sin of pi minus t is sin t, cos of pi minus t is minus cos t, correct? So but since it is even power, that is again cos square t only. So 0 to pi integral, you can again write 2 times 0 to pi by 2, which gives 4 times. So I have totally minus 4 times 12 means minus 48, 0 to pi by 2 sin square t dt, and minus 4 into 8 minus 32 times 0 to pi by 2 cos square t dt. So now it reduces to the standard form under the limit 0 to pi by 2 sin power n or cos power n. If we have, we can use the reduction formula for both sin power n and cos power n. The reduction formula same, so that's why I consider it together. So I can take it together, so which gives now n minus 1 by n, n minus 3 by n minus 2, so on. So n is here 2, so denominator it is 2, numerator is n minus 1, so 1 by 2 into k. The value of k, if n is even, then it is pi by 2, so this gives pi by 4. Similarly for integral 0 to pi by 2 cos square t, that is also pi by 2, which I can write finally, since it is both are same for sin square t and cos square t, under the limit 0 to pi by 2 reduction formula same, so I have considered it together. Minus 48 minus 32, that is minus 80 times under 0 to pi by 2 sin square t dt is pi by 4. Just now we have explained. So pi by 4 times minus 80, so that is minus 20 pi. Next, problem number 5. Apply Stokes theorem to evaluate line integral of y dx plus z dy plus x dz along the curve C, where C is the curve of intersection of sphere x square plus y square plus z square equal to a square and x plus z equal to a. So first I have to identify the curve C along which we have to integrate the line integral of f, which is nothing but yi plus zj plus xk. Now clearly the common intersection of the sphere and the plane x plus z equal to a, that is nothing but the curve is a circle. Will get a circle whose diameter having endpoints at a 0 0 0 and 0 0 a. So along this circumference of the circle I have to find the line integral of f. So the length of the diameter, by using the distance formula, I can get that as a square root of 2a square. The length of the diameter is root 2a square, that is square root of a minus 0 the whole square plus 0 minus 0 the whole square plus 0 minus a the whole square, which is nothing but I can say it is root 2 times a. Thereby the radius of the circle, the radius of the circle, since it is endpoints is a0 0 0 0 a, the length of the diameter I got root 2a, thereby half of that is the radius of the circle, a by root 2. Now I have to find the line integral of f. Instead of that, by using Stokes theorem, I can get the surface integral of curl f over s. So let me first take the curl of f, where f is yi plus zj plus xk. Now del cross f is nothing but determinant of ijk, dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z, component of f here y, z, x. So evaluate that. I times dou by dou y of x constant 0 minus dou by dou z of z is minus 1 here. So minus I minus j times dou by dou x of x is 1 minus dou by dou z of y is 0. So it is component is minus j. Now k times dou by dou x of z, that is 0 minus dou by dou y of y, so minus 1. So the component of k is minus 1. The del cross f is minus I minus j minus k. Now I need to get the unit vector normal to the surface. Now the surface is nothing but x plus z equal to a. The common surface here, what we have, the portion of that is here. So this is the part of your surface x plus plane x plus z equal to a itself. So as all of you know, the normal to the surface is nothing but grade of the surface. So the grade, that is del phi, or here phi is x plus z minus a. So I dou phi by dou x plus j dou phi by dou y plus k dou phi by dou z, that gives the normal to the surface, which is nothing but dou phi by dou x is 1, dou phi by dou y is 0, dou phi by dou z is also 1. So I plus k. But I want n, unit outward normal to the surface, so divide by its magnitude, which is nothing but n is now I plus k by its magnitude is square root of 2. So I have 1 by root 2 times I plus k. Thereby the dot product between curl f and n, I can write curl f dot n is nothing but 1 by root 2 times minus 1 into 1 plus minus 1 into 0 plus minus 1 into 1, that is minus root 2 divided by minus 2 divided by root 2, which gives minus root 2. So by Stokes theorem, the line integral of y dx plus z dy plus x dz, I can take it as surface integral of curl f over the surfaces, where curl f dot n is minus root 2. So I have minus root 2, and this is nothing but we can say it is area of the region. So where the region is a circle, so area of the circle pi r square, where the circle is having the radius a by root 2, so it is minus root 2 times pi a by root 2 the whole square, which in turn simplifies to minus pi a square by root 2. Next, question number 6. Evaluate by Stokes theorem line integral of yz dx plus zx dy plus xy dz along the curve C, where C is the curve of intersection of x square plus y square equal to 1 cylinder and z equal to y square. So here we have to find the line integral of function yzi plus zxj plus xyk vector point function along the curve C. So by Stokes theorem, the line integral I can take it as surface integral of curl f. So I first apply the Stokes theorem. Here I try to get curl of the vector point function yzi plus zxj plus xyk, that is nothing but del cross f is determinant of ijk, dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z, and the third row the component of vector point function is yz, zx, xy. So I can take I tan dou by dou y of xy, that is x minus dou by dou z of xz, that is nothing but x minus x, the component of I is 0, minus j times dou by dou x of xy, that is y minus dou by dou z of yz, that is 2y, so y minus y, again the component of j is 0, plus k times dou by dou x of zx, that is z minus dou by dou y of yz, that is z. So we have 0i plus 0j plus 0k, which is nothing but curl f is 0. The vector point function f is here actually irrotational. So that thereby I can substitute over here. So the line integral of yz dx plus zx dy plus xy dz is nothing but surface integral of 0. The integrand itself is 0. So thereby the answer is 0. Now let us take some problems on Gauss divergence theorem. The first one, using divergence theorem, evaluate surface integral of f over s if f equal to x square minus yzi plus y square minus xzj plus z square minus xyk taken over the rectangular parallelepiped 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to a, 0 less than or equal to y less than or equal to b, and z varies from 0 to c. So by Gauss divergence theorem, the surface integral I can convert as volume integral of divergence of f. So first let me take the divergence of f, that is del dot f, dou f1 by dou x plus dou f2 by dou y plus dou f3 by dou z. So dou by dou x of x square minus yz, that is 2x, dou by dou y of y square minus xz, partially differentiating with respect to y, treating x and z constants, that is 2y, plus dou by dou z of z square minus xy, 2z, 2x plus 2y plus 2z, or 2 times x plus y plus z. By divergence theorem, the surface integral of f over s can be taken as a volume integral of divergence of f. So the volume integral of divergence is already obtained, which is nothing but now triple integral. So I can take the order dz, dy, dx, or however I want. So I can first identify the limits corresponding to z, y, x. So we have the solid, that is rectangular parallelepiped. So z varies from, that is from ground, that is from xy plane, that is z equal to 0 to the height of the parallelepiped is z equal to c. So z varies from 0 to c. Similarly, x and y limits I want. So the projection is on xy plane. So x and y I can take. The y varies from, it is 0 to b, and x varies from 0 to a. So this we have to integrate term by term. The first with respect to z means treating x and y constant. So which I can write the integral of 2xz plus yz plus z square by 2. Apply the limit for z, that is z varies from 0 to c, upper limit minus lower limit, which gives now 2cx plus 2cy plus c square. Now this we have to integrate with respect to y between the limit 0 to b, treating x as constant. So that gives 2cxy plus 2cy square by 2, 2 gets cancelled, cy square plus c square y. Apply the limit 0 to b, upper limit minus lower limit, so that simplifies to 2bcx plus b square c plus bc square, which finally we have to integrate with respect to x between the limit 0 to a. So that gives now bc x square by 2 gets cancelled with this 2, bc x square plus b square cx plus bc square x. Apply the limit for x now, that simplifies a square bc plus ab square c plus abc square, or in this we have abc common, so you can write abc times a plus b plus c. Next, problem 2. Evaluate surface integral of f over s, where f is 4xi minus 2y square j plus z square k, and s is the surface bounding the region x square plus y square equal to 4, that is cylinder, and the plane z equal to 0 and z equal to 3. So clearly the surface is now cylinder, which intersected by the plane xy plane, that is z equal to 0, and a plane parallel to xy plane, that is z equal to 3. That means the height of the cylinder is 3. Now by Gauss divergence theorem, I have to find the surface integral, which in turn I can write in terms of volume integral of divergence f, where divergence f I have to first find, that is dou f1 by dou x plus dou f2 by dou y plus dou f3 by dou z, where f1, f2, f3 I have taken here. So partially differentiate with respect to x, that is 4 minus 4y here with respect to y plus 2z. So I got divergence f del dot f is 4 minus 4y plus 2z. So by Gauss divergence theorem, the surface integral of f over s can be taken as volume integral of divergence f, which is nothing but 4 minus 4y plus 2z. So I want to take now the triple integral of this with respect to z, y, x, as I have taken the order first with respect to z, then y, then x. The limits for corresponding limits for z, y, x, z varies from 0 to 3. So I can write, and then the projection of that on xy plane is clearly a circle, x square plus y square equal to 4. From that I can get the limit for y and x. So that means y is equal to plus or minus root 4 minus x square. So y varies from minus root 4 minus x square to root 4 minus x square, and x varies from minus 2 to 2, correct? So this I have to integrate first with respect to z, means treating y constant. So that gives 4z minus 4yz plus 2z square by 2, that gives z square. Apply the limit, upper limit 3 minus lower limit, anyhow it vanishes, lower limit it is 0. So I have 4 into 3, 12 minus 4y into 3, that is minus 12y plus 9, 12 plus 9, 21 minus 12y. further this I have to integrate with respect to y between the limit minus root 4 minus x square to root 4 minus x square. So here we can observe, if suppose the function defined in the interval minus L to L found to be odd, then the answer is 0. That means f of minus x, if it is minus of f of x, it changes with the sign, then it is called odd function. F of minus x is f of x unchanged, the function is unchanged even after replacing x by minus x, then it is called even. Then you can write integral minus L to L f of x dx as 2 times 0 to L, integral 0 to L. So if I take 21, a constant, the function is same even after, if there is a constant means throughout it is constant, so therefore it is a even function. Whereas 12y is an odd function, if I replace y by minus y, I get minus of f of y. So that means this function, the integral is 0. So I have to just integrate 21, since it is even, so I can write it as 2 times using the rule of definite integral. So 2 times 0 to root 4 minus x square. So I have 2 times integral 0 to root 4 minus x square 21 dy. So I have reduced it by using the properties of definite integral. Integral of 21 is what? 21y. Apply the limit, 21 into outside we have 2, that can be taken out. So 42. So I have a integral is y, that's why it is upper limit minus lower limit, it gives root 4 minus x square. So this further I have to integrate once again with respect to x between the limit minus 2 to 2. Now I can again check this is the even natured function, so I can write it as 2 times integral 0 to 2, that means 2 into 42, 84 times integral 0 to 2 root 4 minus x square dx, which further I can integrate by substitution method. Put x equal to sine 2 sine theta, x equal to 2 sine theta, so that gives now dx is 2 cos theta d theta. So 4 minus 4 sine square theta, that is 4 into 1 minus sine square theta. 1 minus sine square is a cos square. 4 square root of 4 cos square is 2 cos theta. Dx is 2 cos theta, that is 4 cos square theta d theta. Or in terms of t, if I have taken, then it is 4 cos square t dt. So now the limit. So we have taken x as a 2 cos 2 sin t. Thereby when x equal to 0, sin t is a 0, t is 0. When x equal to 2, that is x equal to 2 sin t, that is 2 equal to 2 sin t is 1, t is pi by 2. So I can substitute by x as a 2 sin t, which finally gives 4 cos square t, because it is, this gives 2 cos t after simplifying, and this is 2 cos t dt, together 4 cos square t dt, and the limit changes to 0 to pi by 2. So this is a standard reduction formula we can apply under the definite integral 0 to pi by 2 cos power n t. We can use the reduction formula, so which gives pi by 4 as the answer. So 4 gets cancelled, pi into 84, so 84 pi is the answer. Next, problem number 3, using divergence theorem, evaluate surface integral of R, where S is the surface of the sphere x square plus y square plus z square equal to 9. Here the surface integral of vector point function is R, which is familiar to us, that is xi plus yj plus zk. So by divergence theorem I can convert, as I know, we can take it as volume integral of divergence of the vector point function, which is here R. So div R I want. So div R is del dot R, which is already known to us, that is 3, or once again you can find dou f1 by dou x plus dou f2 by dou y plus dou f3 by dou z. So partial derivative of x with respect to x, y with respect to y, z with respect to z, 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 3. So by divergence theorem, the surface integral of R over S, we can write it as volume integral of divergence of R, which is nothing but 3. So it is 3 times volume of the solid itself. So this gives the volume of the solid, so which I can say here, the solid is nothing but sphere. The surface of the sphere is x square plus y square plus z square equal to 9. So volume of the sphere formula, we know that 4 by 3 pi r cube. Since r is here 3, the radius here is 3, so I can substitute here, which gives 36 pi. So 3 times 36 pi, the answer is 108 pi. Next, problem number 4, if f equal to 2xyi plus yz square j plus xzk and S is rectangular parallelepiped bounded by the planes x equal to 0, y equal to 0, z equal to 0 and x equal to 2, y equal to 1, z equal to 3, find the flux across S. Now, as all of you know, flux across the closed surface S is nothing but surface integral of f over S. But by Gauss divergence theorem, the surface integral of f over s, I can write volume integral of divergence of f. So first let me take divergence of f, that is dou by dou x of 2xy plus dou by dou y of yz square plus dou by dou z of xz, which gives 2y plus z square plus x. So flux across s, that is surface integral of f over s, can be taken as by Gauss divergence theorem, that is volume integral of divergence of f. So which is nothing but divergence f is x plus 2y plus z square. So the limit for z, we know that z varies from 0 to 3 here, y varies from 0 to 1, x varies from 0 to 2. Integrate with respect to z, then y, then x. So while integrating with respect to z, x and y constant, so we'll get xz plus 2yz plus z square integral is z cube by 3. Apply the limit 0 to 3. Upper limit 3 minus lower limit anyhow 0, it vanishes. So when z equal to 3, we'll get 3x plus 6y plus 27 by 3, that is 9. So I have to further integrate this 3x plus 6y plus 9 with respect to y between the limit 0 to 1. So while integrating with respect to y, x is constant, so that is 3xy plus 6y square by 2, that is 3y square plus 9y. Apply upper limit minus lower limit, that gives 3x plus 3 plus 9, that is 3x plus 12. So further we have to integrate with respect to x between the limit 0 to 2, that gives 3x square by 2 plus 12x. When upper limit is 2, we get here 4 by 2, it is 2 into 3, 6 plus 12 2s are 24, 24 plus 6 30, minus lower limit anyhow vanishes, at 0 it is 0, so we have 30, therefore the flux across S is equal to 30. So that covers your module 1 vector calculus of 18 Mat 1. So where it includes all the concepts of vector calculus, and I have taken standard as well as different type of problems here. So I hope this will fulfill the needs of the students. Thank you very much.